100 years ago. It is hard to imagine how different life looked like in the Roaring '20s.
But three women now living in Savoy lived through it, and they're here to tell the tale. Sarah Lehman joins us now. Sarah, you got the scoop from all these ladies.
I really did, and did they have stories to tell?
Oh, I believe
I could have sat there for hours, and I really should have asked them their skincare routine, because they look incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to check it out. The Roaring '20s. It was a time of change and prosperity in the United States. World War I had ended. Flappers were coming on the scene. Alcohol? Nowhere to be found, unless you knew where to look, of course. And three extraordinary women were just coming into the world.
My first name is Ividel, but I go by Ivy. Charlotte, C-H-A-R-L-O-T-T-E. French, F-R-E-N-C-H.
I'm Marilyn Hunter, M-A-R-I-L-Y-N, and for a long time, lots of people had difficult spelling the name, but after Marilyn Monroe became a popular actress, everybody knew how to spell Marilyn.
And they might not look it, but... How old are you today?
103. I was just 100 yesterday.
All three ladies are 100 or older, born and raised around the '20s, and their birthdays just weeks apart.
1919, end of year after the end of World War I.
Ivy grew up in Minnesota with her two brothers and sister.
Went through junior and senior high school there. Had my own group of friends. A couple of them were friends of mine until they died in their 90s.
At 103 years old, she's traveled all around the country and the world, living in places like Boston, California, and Florida. You see, her husband, like Charlotte and Marilyn's, was a pilot in World War II.
And so we moved around and to different stations that he had.
Unlike Ivy, Charlotte and Marilyn, well, they're from Illinois. Charlotte grew up in Peoria, and Marilyn, she's from Savoy, both with strong ties to the University of Illinois.
I enrolled at the U of I think about 10 days before school started, and no one would be able to do that now, I don't think.
Champaign-Urbana has kind of been our home always, since they finished school here, and then we have lived here ever since. So I'm very much at home here and love it, and I love the Illini.
Go Illini.
Can't wait for the next game.
Now they all live at the Windsor of Savoy. Even though they have different backgrounds, they all have one thing in common.
What was going on in the world when I was just a young adult was the war.
And I was studying in the Union Building on December 7th when Pearl Harbor was bombed.
They lived through a lot of historical events, wars, pandemics, Great Depressions, and they all say turning another year older.
Well, I don't think it feels any different than when they said 100. It hasn't hit me yet, I think.
Not much different than being 99.
How did I find all these marvelous women? Well, our own meteorologist, Jacob Dickey, married into Ivy's family, who they call Granny Van. So, of course, when I asked her if there was one memory in her life that stuck out...
For a regular moment, I can't really say so.
Meaning me, Granny Van.
Well, you're something different altogether.
And, of course, one of the most important questions. Do you have a secret to a long life?
Well,
Well,
someone asked me that, and I told them they should drink milk, because I always got teased about it. My drink of choice was always milk, having grown up on a farm.
my mother tells me I walked the church seats when I was little. I've always been active.
I always say that I've walked alone a lot, being I was widowed when I was 49, I always say that I walk with one hand in God's, moment by moment.
So milk is your secret.
Yeah.
How do you feel about almond milk?
About what?
Almond milk?
I've never had almond
Never
milk.
almond milk. Cow's milk.
But I still drink a lot of milk.
You still drink
Yeah.
2%, 1%? Is there
I need a secret.
whole milk?
Whatever.
Any kind of milk?
Any.
Oh my
I really needed to know. I'm
know, right?
Chugging 2%
I love
milk, whatever I need.
But Granny Van, we feel you with Jacob Dickey.
Oh.
We we're on the same
Something
page
different.
there.
I told her, I told him not to come.
They look so beautiful.
Right, okay,
Oh my
so
goodness.
exercise, right?
Yes.
Faith and
Yes.
milk. Those
I
are your
love it.
secrets.
3 that, might be realistic to incorporate.
Yeah, milk.
Happy birthday
Yes.
to all 3 of you
Yes.
lovely ladies. And thank you, Sarah, for sharing
Yeah,
with
it was a
us.
wonderful
It
story.
was very fun.
Okay, that was